Well, today is the big day. The Super Bowl, Pittsburgh Steelers and the Arizona Cardinals. How many are going for Pittsburgh today? How many are going for the Cardinals today? Oh, I'm in good company. I'm in good company. I like the Cardinals to win just because they have a good Christian quarterback there, great guy, and then they got a great Minnesota player as their receiver too. So, but it doesn't matter to me. But you know that over $55 million is expected to be spent on food alone for the big game today. I was at Sam's Club yesterday. It was absolutely nuts yesterday. People buying the stuff, just people all over the place. It will take an estimated 10 million man hours to prepare all that food and about 15 minutes for all of it to be eaten. How many of you know how it is? You cook and you cook and you cook and all of a sudden it's just like done in 15 minutes. You're like, I took so long to do all that. Now it's gone. Twice as much pizza is consumed on Super Bowl Sunday than on any other day in the year. Twice as many parties are held today than any other day of the year. That includes New Year's Eve parties. Talk about preparation. Think about these guys that are playing on these football teams today. The years that they have worked at football since they were little kids playing football, the dreams that they've had, the hours that they have put in, the time, the effort, the work, all of this leading up to a big game. They're in their childhood dream today, playing in the Super Bowl. You know, no matter how the game is going, one thing you'll discover that at halftime, when halftime takes place, both the Steelers and the Cardinals will probably do a little bit of adjusting. They'll probably make some changes. Even the winning team will make some adjusting so that they can improve and do better. The title of my message this morning is entitled Halftime. Halftime. I want you to think about halftime, how critical they are to sporting events. Half times are, again, where we adjust things in life. And this morning, I think as believers that you and I need to have some half times. There are moments in our life where we just need to adjust some things because they're not going very well at all. In fact, if the focus of this message is that no matter where you are in your life right now, God can turn things around. You need a halftime. You may be down by 30 points. You need a halftime. If you have your Bibles, I'd like you to turn with me to John chapter 18, verse number 15. And if you're using a Bible in the pew, it's on page 766. 766. Again, it's John chapter 18, verse number 15. Some of you are just waiting for me to throw you this football this morning. You're just like, go deep. Let's read this. John 18. It says, Simon Peter and another disciple were following Jesus. Because this disciple was known to the high priest, he went with Jesus into the high priest's courtyard. But Peter had to wait outside at the door. The other disciple, who was known to the high priest, came back, spoke to the girl on duty there, and brought Peter in. Well, you are not one of those of his disciples, are you? The girl at the door asked Peter. He replied, I'm not. It was cold, and the servants and officials stood around a fire they had made to keep warm. Peter also was standing with them, warming himself. Drop down to verse number 25. As Simon Peter stood warming himself, he was asked, you are not one of his disciples, are you? He denied it, saying, I am not. One of the high priest's servants, a relative of the man whose ear Peter had cut off, challenged him. Didn't I see you with him in the olive grove? Again, Peter denied it. And at that moment, a rooster began to crow. Here is a man, Peter, who had failure in his life, who had failed his Jesus miserably, who said, Jesus, I will die for you. And just after that, here he is denying Jesus 3 times before the rooster crowed, just as Jesus said would happen. Here's a man, Peter, that desperately needed a halftime in his life. On New Year's Day of 1929, Georgia Tech was playing UCLA in the 1929 Rose Bowl. And in that game, there was a young man named Roy Riegels who recovered a fumble for UCLA. Well, he picked up the loose ball and he began to run and he got hit. And when he got hit, he got turned around. And all of a sudden, he ended up running 65 yards toward the wrong goal line.